tonight on Y News.
UNTV News and Rescue Command Center. This is Y News with Angelo Castro III and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. President Rodrigo Duterte leaves for Cambodia to attend the World Economic Forum. President Rodrigo Duterte and his delegation have left the country for Cambodia to attend the two-day World Economic Forum for ASEAN. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
President Rodrigo Duterte and his delegation have left the country for Cambodia to attend the two-day World Economic Forum for ASEAN. The Duterte administration will launch its Build, Build, Build infrastructure plan in the World Economic Forum in Cambodia. This is the first time for the Philippine government to present a plan in the international scene.
It will be the first launch internationally of the Build, Build, Build program, otherwise known as Duterte Economics, and announcing it to investors as well as to the international media.
The president will also meet other heads of state and government, top chief executive officers of private companies, and regional stakeholders in various sessions of the World Economic Forum in Cambodia tomorrow afternoon.
In my engagements, I shall observe and expect full respect for sovereign equality. Only by doing so will we be able to advance our national interests and collectively push with our partners efforts to sustain growth, security, and stability in the region.
President Duterte is expected to return to the country on May 16 as he will also visit the Filipino community in Hong Kong and attend the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation in China, wherein 28 heads of state and government will attend. President Duterte will travel with his common-law wife Hanilet Avancenia and daughter Kitty Veronica. Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Pasay City.
During the press briefing this afternoon, President Duterte announced two new appointees to his cabinet. According to the President, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano will be the new Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs, and former Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Eduardo Año will be the next Chief of the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG. However, Año's appointment will take effect after he retires in military service in October.
You need somebody who knows the police by the fingertips of his hand. Kailangan yan, puro ano lang yan. And then, we have a problem with terrorism.
Before he departs, the President also defends his appointment yesterday of social media writer Mocha Uson as Assistant Secretary of the Presidential Communications Office.
At utang na loob ko yan sa kanila because they offered their services free at the time when wala akong pera because they believe in me. Now it's my time to believe in them. And you can listen to her, you can debate with her. Tignan mo yung Facebook and she can have a very structured mind. So what's the problem?
Secretary Roy Cimatu will start his mines visit next week as his first step after taking over as a new chief of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
Secretary Cimatu promised to exert his best efforts for the department. During his speech in the turnover of leadership this afternoon, Cimatu vows to follow the Constitution in order to protect the environment and the welfare of Filipinos with or without the confirmation from the Commission on Appointments. He also emphasizes that if only mining companies are responsible and adhere to what is required by law, suspension and closure will not be ordered. Next week, he is planning to begin his visit in mining sites across the country.
I will first visit those who followed the regulations, the laws properly. Kaya payagan sila mag-operate. And I will also see the mining companies na hindi sumunod na kaya na-suspension, nasaraduhan.
Cimatu belongs to PMA class of 1970 and had been the AFP Chief of Staff in 2002. He was appointed as a special presidential envoy to the Middle East and paved the way for the release of Filipino hostage Angelo de la Cruz from Iraqi militants in 2004. Cimatu is the 16th DNR secretary since its establishment in 1987. Meanwhile, former Secretary Gina Lopez in her farewell speech today asked her former employees to carry on with department's mandate of defending the environment. She vows to support the newly installed secretary even if she is already a private individual.
And my greatest hope and aspiration is that you will continue to keep the flame of truth, of service, and the common good in your hearts.
In her 10 months as DNR Secretary, she ordered the closure and suspension of 28 mining operations in the country. Mines and Geosciences Bureau Director Mario Luis Jacinto says the fate of the said mining companies is up to the office of the President since the cases are already in that level.
So whatever is the action at the office of the President will determine what would be the subsequent action that will be taken.
Ray Pilayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Philippine National Police allays the public's fear, saying the province of Palawan remains safe and that there is no reason to panic. Grace Casin will tell us why.
The Philippine National Police is verifying the reports about the alleged plan of terrorist groups to conduct series of abductions in Palawan. This after the United States Embassy released a new travel advisory for its citizens in the Philippines. The embassy says it received information about the alleged kidnapping plan of terrorist groups in the province. U.S. citizens are particularly advised to refrain from traveling to Puerto Princesa City and areas near the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. The Philippine National Police or PNP is now validating the said information.
Sa amin po, once validated, we will communicate it and take necessary security measures or steps.
In line with this, the Western Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines conducts an interagency meeting to ensure the safety of Palawan for local and foreign tourists. The Westcom also remains on heightened alert. Aside from Coast Guard patrol boats, also on standby on the shores of Palawan are the Marines and Navy personnel. And the Philippine Air Force helicopter are regularly patrols in the area. On its Facebook page, the Western Command has used the hashtag Palawan is safe. The Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP says it has not monitored any threats of terrorism in Palawan. With or without threat, the AFP vows to continue guarding all islands in the country. The Armed Forces also advises the public to stay calm and remain vigilant. Senator Panfilo Lacson, meanwhile, said the AFP and PNP should take seriously the information it got from the U.S. Embassy about the alleged planned kidnapping of tourists in Palawan.
Past experience will tell us na pagka merong advisory na ganon, it's not just parang flap from thin air kasi may pinagbabasihan yan.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
The local government of Quezon City is now preparing for any terror threats in crowded areas. Grace Casin is back to tell us why.
Quezon City Mayor Herbert Bautista orders the Quezon City Police District to intensify its monitoring of the security in the city due to the possible threats of terrorism. This following reports that cities across the country are the next targets of terrorist groups. Also, especially since the mayor had received information during a peace talks meeting about the plans of terrorist groups.
Ang movement ngayon ng mga terrorist groups ay papunta na sa mga urban centers. Yun yung information na nakuha natin. So meaning, pupunta na sila sa mga syudad, sa mga kalunsuran. Pwede pumunta ng Cebu, pwede pumunta ng Cagayan de Oro, pwede pumunta yan ng Baguio, pwede pumunta na ng Dagupan City, pwede pumunta rin sa Metro Manila.
The Quezon City Local Government Unit has also distributed 12 digital composite sketch appliances to the Quezon City Police District or QCPD to facilitate the process in determining the facial composition of a suspect. They are also set to install more than 200 CCTV cameras in the city for additional monitoring.
Magre-recruit yan. May mga terror cells na maaring pwedeng buuin, no? And then at a certain time, pwede na sila i-trigger na kumilos na kayo. We don't know what their plans will be. Pwedeng magpasabog sila dyan.
The QCPD has already held a dialogue with 43 Muslim groups that are cooperating with authorities to prevent any terrorist threats. Additional cops are also deployed in the city, especially in crowded areas.
Police visibility, conduct of checkpoints and other beat and mobile patrol. We are coordinating with other group stakeholders in order to address this situation.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The proposal to create a national identification system has now advanced in the lower house of Congress. However, some lawmakers have expressed concern over the possible threat the passage of the bill poses to the privacy of Filipino citizens. Nel Marie Buhok will tell us why.
No lawmaker opposed the proposal to consolidate all government-issued ID systems into an integrated one.
Tung dati po ay napakadami nating ID, halos sumasira yung wallet natin sa daming kailangang ipresentang ID.
Under the bill, Filipinos aged 18 years and above shall be required to apply for a national ID. Each ID card will have an ID number with a lifetime validity. It will contain the imprinted photo of the owner, name, birthday, gender, signature of the holder, serial number from the Philippine Statistics Authority, and several information from the holder's biometric data. However, some lawmakers believe it would affect the privacy of an individual and would have an implication to the security of the ID holder. They argued this since the one who handles the database of the PSA is a US-based company. But the bill's proponents says they have already prepared to address the issue.
Tanging ang PSA lamang ang may karapatan para sa mga impormasyon na kinakailangan dito. Sakaling i-request ng ibang agency ay may mga approval na kinakailangan talaga.
The Philippine National Police says the national ID system would greatly help in addressing criminality.
It will help in the campaign against criminality, having one national ID system for easy identification of any individual.
Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
The Commission on Human Rights has filed a complaint before the Office of the Ombudsman regarding the discovery of a secret detention cell at the Station 1 of the Manila Police District. The CHR seeks for the filing of criminal and administrative complaints against some members of the police station, particularly against its former station commander, Superintendent Robert Domingo. On April 27, CHR discovered through a surprise visit a hidden cell with 12 inmates. CHR is hoping for the support of the Philippine National Police towards penalizing those responsible for the establishment of a secret detention cell in MPD, which is a clear violation of the law.
The lawyer of Janet Lim Napoles will ask the court for her transfer to the NBI detention facility after her acquittal in a serious illegal detention case. Monokson will tell us why.
Janet Napoles' lawyer, Attorney Stephen David, says he has already asked the Department of Justice or DOJ to allow her transfer from the Bureau of Corrections or Bucor to the custody of the NBI. Napoles' camp has also filed a manifestation regarding the request before the Sandigan Bayan that has the jurisdiction over her detention.
Kung pwede lang, request lang naman kung pwede madala siya sa NBI para sa security. Hindi na, kasi acquitted siya Doon lang yan sa mga convicted prisoners yan
Napoles has been allowed by the court to post bail on only 2 of 5 cases she is currently facing, while the 3 senators allegedly involved in a related plunder case have not been allowed by the Sandigan Bayan to post bail. The camp of Napoles is now considering taking legal remedy so the anti-graft court would allow her to post bail. Attorney David also notes the acquittal of Napoles in her illegal detention case will affect the credibility of Ben Hurluy as a state witness.
It's a very, very good sign kasi yung credibility ni Ben Hur tinamaan dyan O yun naman kaso naman ng mga yan dahil lang kay Denr. Siyempre, hindi na. Nagsinungaling siya, di ba? Sabi niya, na-detain siya. Sabi ng court, di naman.
Sandigan Bayan Presiding Justice Amparo Cabotaje Tang meanwhile says the anti-graft court has to release an order first before allowing the transfer of the pork barrel scam mastermind to other detention facility. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Sandigan Bayan.
Senator Panfilo Lacson has expressed concern over the possible outcome if Janet Lim Napoles will serve as a witness in the investigation of the pork barrel scam. Lacson says many lawmakers might face imprisonment if the alleged mastermind of the pork barrel scam will be allowed to testify. The senator notes there are so many individuals that have yet to face charges based on the pork barrel list he claims he saw before. However, Lacson clarifies it would be up to the court to decide if Napoles will be allowed to testify for the case.
I'll just not mention names, but remember, Mrs. Napoles shared with me when I was still with Yolanda as the Yolanda coordinator. Senior niya sa akin through the husband and the I think the son, no, yung listahan niya. Ang worry ko lang dito, when Mrs. Napoles starts pointing fingers, baka malipat yung quorum sa krame, hindi na rin sa Senate or hindi na doon sa House. Ano? Baka doon na tayo nagro-roll call.
Next on Y News. Several lawmakers formally take oath under the administration's Partido Demokratiko Pilipino, Lakas ng Bayan or PDP Laban.
Several groups of women filed ethics complaint against Senator Tito Soto.
Y News will be right back. Some members of the Liberal Party have been sworn in today under the ruling Partido Demokratiko Pilipino, Lakas ng Bayan or PDP Laban. Nel Maribuhok will tell us why.
Some lawmakers have decided to change their course. Earlier today, 10 lawmakers, including 5 members of the Liberal Party, have taken their oath under President Rodrigo Duterte's Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Lakas ng Bayan or PDP Laban. They are Representatives Ansarudin Adyong, Nancy Catamco, Geraldine Roman, Alfred Vargas, and Winnie Castelo.
With our consultations with our constituents, talagang overwhelming naman ang support sa administration na ito.
To support the legislative agenda of the President and Speaker.
According to PDP Laban Secretary General and House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez, the party switching has nothing to do with the impeachment complaint against the President.
Wala namang kinalaman ito doon. Ang magandang mensahe dito siguro na lalong dumadami yung sumusuporta sa ating Presidente.
According to LP Secretary General Representative Kit Belmonte, the now former LP members have talked to them regarding their decision to change party.
At the end of the day, may local concerns ka, at saka mahirap talaga maging LP sa panahon nito.
Because of this development, the House of Representatives now has 121 members of the ruling party and only 28 members from the Liberal Party from the total of 292 lawmakers. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
Members of the House Minority Bloc will not support the impeachment complaint against President Rodrigo Duterte. This, according to Congressman Danilo Suarez, is because they believe that majority of Filipinos still trust the policies of the President.
80% acceptance rating, i-impeach mo. That's a political suicide.
But the millions of OFW, definitely hindi namin to susuportahan.
The lawmakers made their statement following the House plenary's referral of the complaint to the Committee on Justice.
Senator Tito Soto is filing an indefinite leave as chairman of the Senate Ethics Committee. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
Leaders from various women's groups filed today an ethics complaint against Senator Vicente Soto III. This is in relation to his alleged offensive joke to single-parent Department of Social Welfare and Development Secretary Judy Taguiwalo during her confirmation hearing before the Commission on Appointments.
Merong sa
in the street language, when you have children and you are single, ang tawag dun na ano lang.
Though the senator already apologized for his remarks, the group says this is not enough to alleviate the offense.
Ang apology niya ay hindi totoong apology. Kasama sa kanyang pananalita ay ang pag-attribute dito bilang street language. Hindi kami naniniwala na ang lahat ng mga nasa kalsada ay ganito ituring ang mga kababaihan.
The women leaders want the CA to sanction Soto for what happened and has also asked the senator to inhibit from the proceedings, being the chair of the Senate Ethics Committee. They're also asking for the other CA members who laughed at the joke to be reprimanded as well, but have not specified in the complaint who these are. Yesterday, Soto was visited by Solo Parents Federation Luz Women Incorporated and asked for his support for the amendments on the Solo Parents Welfare Act. The group said they want to move on from the issue and use the circumstance to push forward the interest of solo parents. But for the women leaders who filed the complaint against Soto, the senator is not fit to champion the measures for solo parents.
Binabanggit na siya ay champion ng mga solo parents, tumatanggi kami rito. Kasi kung merong champion, ito yung mga kababaihan din na nagtulak ng Solo Parents Welfare Act. Hindi ito nakasalalay sa pagkilos ng isang misogynist.
Hindi naman ako nagsasabing champion ako eh. I've never laid claim to that. I just said that I will help them.
Senator Soto welcomes the complaint and says as delicadeza, he will file an indefinite leave as chair of the Senate Ethics Committee.
It might be another blessing in disguise because then automatically I will inhibit myself and then I will take leave from the Committee on Ethics.
The matters will be left to the hands of Senator Panfilo Lacson, who sits as the vice chairperson of the committee. He says he might refer the complaint first to the Senate Committee on Rules to answer a possible issue of jurisdiction.
Kaya nga dapat pag-aralan mabuti yung ethics complaint. Unang-una nga, yung issue na may jurisdiction ba yung Senate Ethics do sa actuation ng Senador acting as a CA member. Dapat tingnan din yun.
Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
The House Committee on Ways and Means has begun its deliberations on the proposal to remove tax exemptions of telecommunications companies in the country. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The National Treasury is expected to increase by 23 billion pesos if the proposed franchise tax on telecommunications companies or telcos will be passed into law. Based on two bills at the lower house, the government could impose a 3 to 8% franchise tax on telcos' gross sales. One of the bill's main author, Navota's Representative Toby Chanco, says the National Telecommunications Commission should also have additional powers to prevent telcos from passing the franchise tax on to consumers.
Because why will you pass on the franchise tax when the privilege is given to the telco? It is not given to your consumer.
The Department of Finance says the imposition of franchise tax cannot be considered double taxation because of the existing value-added tax.
For granting a franchise, that is not defining it as a sales tax. And that may constitute no double taxation.
The lawmakers also questioned how the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR examines the revenue of telcos.
Kasi yung billings po syempre sa services po, but when they buy cards, meron po yung OR. So kasama po yun na chine-check ni BIR during audit.
Meron bang nagbibigay ng OR? Subukan natin bumili ng SIM card sa tindahan kung merong OR.
Alongside the proposed franchise tax, the lawmakers are also pushing for the removal of tax exemptions of telcos, particularly their tax exemptions on importations and other incentives given by local and provincial governments. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
A business alliance was formed to help small businesses in the country. Mon Locson will tell us why.
Business groups in the Philippines and from other ASEAN member states have formed an alliance that would help small and medium businesses in the country. ASEAN Business Advisory Council Chairman and Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion says the Alliance Towards Prosperity for All will provide knowledge and trainings to small entrepreneurs. through the ASEAN Mentorship for Entrepreneurs Network or AMEN program.
For the first time, they will now be able to have a directory of mentors in various sectors, be it in IT, logistics, agriculture, whatever.
The program will equip small businesses in the Philippines in order to compete with the regional and eventually global market. Franklin Go of the Philippine Franchise Association says by joining the alliance, they can ask their members to support the products of local businesses, which will help improve their earnings. Only the group appeals for immediate construction and rehabilitation of the country's infrastructure projects.
Kung yung infrastructure nga, no? If it can become cheaper for us to be able to get these raw materials to all these companies, mas malaking tulong sa farmers, no? Kasi the cost of doing production is going to be lower.
Meanwhile, Concepcion says they are still studying the possibility of using a portion of the conditional cash transfer program to help fund the small businesses. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue, Makati City.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA clarifies that motorists parking along the service road in Rojas Boulevard need not pay any fee. John Nano will tell us why.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA maintains that the parking space along the service road of Rojas Boulevard is state-owned. This means that local government offices do not have the authority to make business out of it.
Yung parking dito, nakalatag yan sa buong kahabaan ng Manila Bay, Rojas Boulevard, Manila Bay. Kasi po yan dinisign para dyan ka magpa-park, not for the commercial, but for the people who wants to go to Manila Bay. If it's for the public, dapat po walang bayad.
Earlier today, vehicles were seen illegally parked along Quirino Avenue in Manila despite the intensified clearing operations by the MMDA a few days ago. During the operation, MMDA discovered that some people were asking parking fees from motorists, allegedly citing local government ordinance. The agency immediately sought the attention of the city government of Manila to clarify the issue.
Sabi po nung taga-local government na may restriction pala yung parking yung provision na yun, it can be revoked anytime if the government needs the space.
Aside from illegal parking, illegal vendors also returned to the area.
Kasi ito lang naman po kasi ang namin, hanap buhay namin. Dito namin kinukuha yung pang namin sa pamilya namin, sa mga anak namin.
The MMDA is also planning to transfer them to the Southwest Integrated Terminal, but they just need to prioritize the transfer of vendors in Baclaran. Earlier today, the MMDA also served a notice order to a certain construction site for illegally occupying 2 lanes of the service road where they placed some construction materials. The agency has given them until next week to remove and vacate the portion of the service road.
Not later than 15 May 2017. Dapat po wala na yan.
The MMDA targets to finish the clearing operations of the service road along Rojas Boulevard until the end of this month. The agency appealed to local government units that instead of making business, LGU should help discipline the people and maintain the roads clear of obstructions for the benefit of the motorists. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Another day of public service was successfully rendered by UNTV volunteers and members Church of God International in Baguio City. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Baguio City residents gathered at Igorot Park early morning of Monday not for leisure, but to take part in a medical mission activity held by UNTV and members Church of God International. Many of them cannot afford to pay for a doctor's services, just like Rizel's family.
Salamat sa Diyos at natulungan kami ni Brother Eli at ni Brother Daniel sa pagpapacheck up sa akin at sa aking mga anak. Nabigyan po kami ng libreng gamot. Yung isang anak ko may ubo at saka sipon. Yung isang anak ko naman may allergy. Tapos yung ganon. Ako naman po mayroon din pong tonsillitis. Nabigyan po kami ng mga gamot, ganon. Tsaka vitamins din.
Some young men took advantage of the vacation period to undergo circumcision.
Salamat po dahil tinuli kami ng libre, tapos may libre na rin pong gamot, tapos may pagkakataon na kaming natuli.
UNTV and MCGI's free services include free medical and optical consultation, free tooth extraction, free medicines, and free vitamins. The medical mission was conducted in cooperation with MCGI and UP Sigma Kappa Pi Fraternity, which conducted the free HIV screening. Aside from medical services, some residents availed of free legal consultation. Over 700 Baguio City residents became the beneficiaries of UNTV and members Church of God International's medical, dental, and legal mission. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Those are the reasons behind the news, May 10, 2017. I'm Angelo Castro III.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Berlin Basingan.
Because we need to know. We will always ask why. Thank you for watching Y News.